Welcome back to Market Review. On the second topic in this episode, we will be talking about the role of accountants in improving the accountability of the capital market in Indonesia with the representative of the International Federation of Accountants, which is the global organization for the accountancy profession, and the representative of Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia, or IAI, or Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountants, which is a member of IFAC and one of the founders of IFAC, which was established at the 1977 World Congress of Accountants in Berlin. IAI is actively involved in the ASEAN Federation of Accountants Permanent Secretariat for the last 50 years, and IAI also takes the role as standard setter in Indonesia for financial reporting, and now take initiatives as standard setter for sustainability disclosure standards in Indonesia. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our guest for today, Mr. Jean Bucco, President, International Federation of Accountants, or IFAC, and Professor Lindawati Gani, member of the National Council Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia, and also professional accountants in Business Advisory Group of IFAC. Hello, Mr. Jean. Professor Linda, thank you very much for your attendance here on Market Review. So, Mr. Jean, talking about IFAC and its significance at the global economy, how deep is it, or how significant is it, the role of the IFAC itself?
Well, we thank you very much for being here. The International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, and we say IFAC for the future, has the objective is the global organization of the accountancy profession, which in every word is it's something important. And we represent 187 members, jurisdictions, member institutes, which themselves are in 142 jurisdictions, and we don't count the number. We represent millions of accountants worldwide. What is important is that by connecting and uniting our members, we make the accountancy profession truly global, and this is really what makes us so important. So our members' organizations, we make sure that they represent the profession with integrity and quality in everything we do, and we carry this, all of us, as a badge of international recognition. We collaborate with our members to ensure that the profession remains relevant, remains resilient, and responsive, particularly in those times of change. We have already encountered some other times of change, but in this period, this is important. And this means we support the development, the adoption, the implementation of high-quality standards, international standards, so that we advance also with our strong ethical standards. And we and our members, we work together with the ambition to shape the future of the profession and advance what is very key in our mind, which is the public interest. And we are doing that. So by empowering trusted, high-performing global accountancy profession, we feel that we reinforce the foundations of financial system, we support investor confidence, and we contribute to, as much as possible, to the stability and the sustainability growth of economies, wherever they are around the world.
Considering what you already conveyed, the role of accountant itself very important in terms of the development of a global economy, and talking about the platform of investment, and also talking about the point of view of investors. If before they're investing their money in some companies, they will see the accountability of the company, and it all depends on the how good actually the accountant doing their job, or they doing their profession. Okay, so Prof. Linda, today, except we're also having the interesting topic right now in this on this table. On this very second, we also have a very interesting event downstairs on Menhol Bursa IFAC Indonesia seminar on future-proofing economies, the strategic role of accountants in turbulent times. What is the importance of this theme, actually, especially it is related to the role of accountants in capital market?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
This seminar actually, as you mentioned just now, if we relate to the theme, is actually there is a shift from traditional compliance to a strategic and future-oriented function. So it's no longer that we are only expecting the accountant to do numbers cruncher, but it will become the future strategic partners of the entity. So in here, accountants are becoming the central to strengthening their trust in the capital market, also driving the sustainable business practices, and also supporting strategic foresight and also agility, actually, and also enabling the resilient and the transparent of the economic system. So in sum, we can summarize that the future-proofing economics is actually require the leveraging of the unique competencies of an accountant to navigate the uncertainty that is happening everywhere, and also to uphold the trust and guide of the strategic action that making them a crucial actor in shaping a stable and adaptive capital market. So in an increasing condition right now, complying word is only accurate information is the currency of trust, right?
Yeah.
So I think accountants are the guardian of this trust.
Yeah, this is very fundamental and this is very important and something that we need to prioritize when it comes to accountability of one company. Do you have anything to add on?
No.
Okay.
Maybe so, later on.
Yes, sure. Mr. Buko, so from IFAC's global perspective, how do accountants contribute to integrity and transparency in the capital market, which is that is also one of the things that related to the accountability and integrity itself. So what are your findings?
Well, first, professional accountants are trained, heavily trained and permanently trained. It's not trained just to become an accountant. It's a permanent, ongoing process to apply internationally recognized standards. And these are for audit, these are for ethics, and these are increasingly for sustainability disclosure. This is coming more and more. And these standards, they are designed to provide and promote consistency, to promote comparability and clarity across borders. This is essential, I think, for investors, for regulators. We depend, as has been already mentioned, by reliable information. So because then you can, when you have the reliable information, you can make the right decisions. Beyond technical compliance, accountants bring an inquiring mind. This is what we have in our gene. So professional skepticism is important, and also what is very important is a strong sense of public interest in our work, in our daily work. And these qualities, they help identify and mitigate risks, prevent misstatements or fraud, because yes, quality is not in everything we do. We have to pay attention to that, and so that we strengthen permanently confidence in both financial reporting and now and more corporate governance and then sustainability reporting. So our contribution lies not only in the preparation and assurance of high quality financial and non-financial information, but also in upholding the ethics standards and the ethics standards and the professional judgment. These are what the stake stakeholders rely, I repeat myself, but it is important, for trust and for confidence. And in short, I would say that accountants are the stewards of trust in capital markets, and this is why we have this support of investor confidence, which makes the system, the financial system, and the economy as large reliable. This is the important thing.
So talking about the native or practicality of accountant as the profession, based on what is actually Mr. Buko already delivered just now, it seems like we're having the global trend in terms of accountant as a profession. So how is actually the Indonesian accountant able to align with these global trends, Prof. Linda?
Actually, as just now Mr. Buko has already mentioned, III or IAI is actually one of the founder of IFAC, right? So from the beginning of the IFAC at that time, way back in 1977, actually we are taking an active part. And we were actually born before that, 20 years ago. IAI was born in 1957. So as Indonesian,
also making the trend.
Yeah. So I think we should be proud of our country. So going back to your question just now, Indonesian accountant is actually are increasing equipped to align with the global trend through upscaling, certification, ethical commitment, and also the global mindset. Through a combination of certifications such as that we have in IAI, we call that Chartered Accountant Indonesia. It is actually a continuous learning, because an accountant we cannot stop learning. It's a continuous learning. And then we have a practical application of the international standard. So actually around the world we adopt the same standard, as just now Mr. Buku has already mentioned also, like the ethical standard are the same. The education standard are also the same. The practical standard for preparing the financial statement and also the disclosure of the sustainability, they are all the same, and the auditing standard also the same. So actually we are not behind, we are on the same pace and going together to gain the public trust. So if we are talking on that premise, how are Indonesian as a professional accountant in Indonesia, I think pursuing a globally aligned qualification to become a chartered accountant is a must. Because if you want to be peers in the global, then you have to have that passport, right, to go global. So actually the CA designation help professional meets the global expectation of the high quality reporting and strategic decision making. So we can start from the education standard. The education standard that we adopt as the members of IFAC. Every country which have PEOs in IFAC, they have to adhere to the same international education standard, which contains, starting from the beginning, when somebody entered the education as a professional accountant, which we refer to as ISS 1. And then we have the technical competence, which most of us focus upon, but it's not enough. We have to have the professional and also the personal. That is the three that we professionals should have. It's not just technical, as just now Mr. Boku also mentioned, and also the continuous professional development. We have to have a certain credit hours to maintain our expertise on those coverage. And then beside that, we have also have the standard of practice that I just now have already mentioned. We have the IFRS standard for accounting, preparing the financial statement, but we have a new one now, which was issued 2 years ago by IFRS for the sustainability disclosure issues. And then beside that, we also have to demonstrate ethical leadership and public interest commitment. This is a very important, I have to underline this aspect, because as a professional accountant, we have to adhere and hold up to be able to gain the public trust. Because our profession is a profession of trust, then we have to have this as part of our DNA in the body of a professional accountant.
Okay, so narrative-wise for accountant as the profession already conveyed on this table, but talking about the conception on the accountant as profession, there are many misconceptions or perceived that occur among the general public, stating that accountants are identical with auditors. So how can you address that? We're going to talk about that later on the next segment. Stay with us because we're going to continue the talking after the break. Stay tuned. No, it's this is the last segment. Yeah, thank you very much for you staying tuned with us on Market Review, and we're still talking about the role of accountants in improving the accountability of the capital market in Indonesia. And still with me, Mr. Jean Boko, President, International Federation of Accountants, or IFAC, and Prof. Lindawati Gani, member of the National Council Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia, or IAI, and of course, professional accountant in business advisory group of IFAC. So, continuing our talking before the last break. So, about the conception that occur among the general public, stating that accountants are identical with auditors. Maybe you can address that shortly, Mr. Jean.
Yes, accountants is not only auditors, and the auditors are not only accountants.
There are differences.
There are differences. What I would just say, we as accountants, we may enter into preparing accounts, helping companies to prepare their work. As auditors will have a different role, but these are not the only specialties we have in our accountant world. We also have accountants who are accountants in business. And we also have accountants who are academics, and we also have accountants who play an important role in the public sector. So, accountants equal auditors, no, that's not the way it is. It's a much broader picture, if I may.
Sure. Okay. Now I'm going to ask the question for Prof. Linda, since we are talking about the role of accountant for the capital market. So which accountants are involved with the capital market so far?
Yeah, it's just as mentioned, we can start with the accountant in business. They are inside the company who are actually navigating the company and also at the end reporting the company performance through the reports, and it is the accountability of the company and transparency, right? And then after that, the accounts will be audited, so auditor came in. But beside that, as maybe you may be aware now, that accountant actually is not just numbers, but they are also expected to go beyond numbers by also having the scope of non-financial disclosure. So as all of us aware, sustainability become a very great issue lately, nowadays around the world, and accountants are actually expected to become part of those reports. The disclosure that are non-financial, that are linked to environment, social, and also governance, to be able to give a complete picture of what are actually the company are doing. So in short, we have now this new term, actually, it's not just financial statement, but it's a general purpose financial report, which cover the financial statement as well as the sustainability disclosures, which is based on the international standard of sustainability, which are issued by ISSB under IFRS Foundation. So it will be together later on. And why do we need those? Because investors actually are expecting to see the real information that are provided by the company as accountability of the company,
Yeah.
transparency, and at the end, gain the trust from the investor.
Talking about the importance of accountant as the profession, there's some kind of, maybe I should say, the co-pilot of the C-levels, because the role is very important.
Yes.
Talking about the importance of the accountant role or profession. So, Mr. John, how does actually IFAC view Indonesia's progress in adopting global best practices and international standards in this country?
Well, Indonesia has done a lot. To be in line with the major standards which are for working, for reporting, and therefore for giving this level of trust which we all have in mind. But this is really true, and it is not only the accounting profession, but it's also, of course, the regulators and the standard setters. Everyone is combining towards this level, which is of great consistency and transparency, and in line with the international expectations. So we view at IFAC as Indonesia as a really outstanding partner in advancing the global profession.
Okay, there's a term called sustainability disclosure standard. So, talking about that, Prof. Linda, how does actually EAI respond to the development of the sustainability disclosure standards?
Yeah.
Related to the role of accountants.
Okay. In response to that, IAI actually has taken a very proactive step by issuing the Sustainability Disclosure Standard Roadmap last December 2024 at that time. And this is actually, the roadmap itself is a part of the strategic initiative to support the high quality, transparency, and also decision usefulness sustainability information in capital market and beyond, of course. Along with the roadmap, actually, we also, as maybe you are aware of as well, we have already set up what we call Dewan Standard Keberlanjutan, is the board for the sustainability standard, which has also published an exposure draft around this disclosure, which refer to IFRS S1, IFRS S2, which has already been published by the IWSB from the IFRS Foundation. And the draft itself is expected to be approved this coming June 2025. And it will maybe effective, hopefully, by 2027.
Yeah. The talking is very interesting, but too bad the time is very limited. So I believe that you have the final words to wrap up our discussion today. Mr. John, please.
Well, we have talked a lot about trust and transparency, which are the cornerstones of a healthy capital market, of a healthy economy, and we are essential in that respect. But once I've said that, trust is not a given. Trust has to be gained every morning, every day.
Sure.
Now, Indonesia has done, Indonesia and the Indonesian profession have done a lot, and I must say that for positioning Indonesia in this environment, which requires trust and confidence, congratulations to everyone here in this country.
Prof. Linda, very short for your closing statement.
Okay. So as a CA, actually, we are stepping into the profession of a great transformation lately, right nowadays. So integrity, insight, and innovation is very important because we want to gain as a trusted advisor, ethical leaders, and also strategic thinkers. So we have to go further, go beyond the numbers, and your role now as an accountant is not just to account for value, but help to create value.
Yes.
So you are becoming part of the global ecosystem of trust. So be a CA and be a difference maker.
Thank you very much, Prof. Linda and Mr. John, for your attendance here on Market Review. So that was our discussion today, talking about the role of accountants in improving the accountability of the capital market in Indonesia. Wikiadian, thank you very much. See you on the next program.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.